Hey guys, and welcome back to another episode of the Too Heavy Wrestling Podcast. Today we're going to be going over our top 5 favorite finishers of all. Yes, you. Me, I'm Randy.
Me?
That's Eddie, and that's Clayton. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be going through. And I actually did, because he couldn't be here with us today, I actually did get Zach's top 5 as well. I'll be going over those at the
And you know what else we got? We got socials. You make sure to follow us on all of our socials: Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Make sure to tune in with us each and every week on Spotify, Apple Music, and Podbean.
Podbean!
It only took 6 tries, but I got Podbean. We're good.
And honestly, I don't know what we would do as a podcast entity of Podbean.
And thank you for wanting to sponsor us. We'll get back to you.
Can say that. Clayton, what are you doing? Was that your impression of me?
No.
Do I do a lot of hand stuff?
No, not
All
at
right.
all. Why did you immediately think it's about you, you narcissist?
Because everything's about
That's
me
his
all the time.
Nunzio impersonation.
All right, let's go over our top 5 favorite finishers of all time. Clayton didn't have any honorable mentions, but Eddie and I did, so we're going to go through the honorable mentions first, and then we're going to give them to you. So, Eddie, why don't you go ahead and hit us with your honorable mentions?
Yes, of course. So for my honorable mentions, starting first, I realized I forgot a very important person off my list. So technically I would have had 3, but I knocked one off. So the one that was in my original top 5 that I knocked down was the Red Arrow by Adrian Neville. What a thing of freaking beauty that Red Arrow is. Only if he didn't get injured, and only if the cruiserweights didn't become a thing again, and he probably would have had a singles title, or he would have had a mid-card title. Number 2, in any variation, in any counter, specifically, Kurt Angle's ankle lock.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kurt Angle's ankle lock is a good.
When Undertaker was going to tombstone him, and he somehow turned that into an ankle lock.
Yeah.
That man.
That's how you knew the man was great.
Yeah. So, Kurt Angle, miss watching you wrestle. I know that hopefully that doesn't happen anytime soon. No offense to you, and if you want to do it again, but we missed the ankle lock and all the reversals that came with it. So
if he comes out of retirement to do a real retirement match with John for it, I would be okay with that.
I'd be very okay with it. That'd be fine.
No, Clayton.
Look at our Kurt Angle on his podcast. That man can barely move. His arms are atrophying
I think
horribly.
he's done enough in his wrestling career.
He
does
doesn't
not
need
need to
to
be in
do
the ring
that.
again.
No, he's
No.
good.
All right, well, my honorable mentions, one of them got kicked out of my top 5, kind of similar to Eddie's, and it, depending on the day, it would actually stay in my top 5. Today, it just wasn't that day. Triple H's pedigree, an honorable mention. Not top 5, but definitely looks good, impactful, all that cool stuff. Very well protected. And then my second honorable mention was Kane's chokeslam. And I say Kane's chokeslam, the reason why it's not top 5 and it's an honorable mention is because I think masked Kane chokeslam. Original chokeslam up through like 2002. Not to say that his chokeslam got worse with the mask off, but there's something about that move plus that characterization and then JR on top of it, chokeslam him straight to hell. It was the whole package.
Certainly more impact when he was masked.
Correct.
Not the Hurricanes chokeslam.
No, not the Hurricanes, specifically Canes. Now we'll get into our top 5. We'll go down the line 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But before we get into the list themselves, I wanted to ask you guys, what were the parameters you went through when you picked the?
I didn't have any parameter. My 5 favorites.
Okay.
Honestly, yeah, it's my 5 favorites too. I originally was thinking, but I'm like, no, we'll just keep it creamy, dude.
Yeah, gotta keep it creamy with you, dog. No, for me, for my top 5, these are my top 5 favorites. But when I think of my favorites, I think impact, presentation, character work. The only thing I didn't consider, and I'm saying this because of my number 1, I didn't consider how well it's protected. So do we want to start with Clayton, or do you want me to go first? How are we feeling?
We can start down here.
All right. You go right ahead with your number 5.
My number 5 is the two-handed choke slam. Typically seen with the Great Khali. To me, that is the most impactful looking choke slam because you are double fisting
get that.
another human being's neck, lifting them 4 feet off the ground, and then slamming them back down.
When you say great colleague, similar to Eddie's reaction, I get a sour taste in my mouth, but specifically that move, I actually totally
There are
get.
several people who have said the worst move to take is his Punjabi plunge.
Yeah, because of how high you get.
You
Yes.
could put Albert on there for his two-handed chokeslam too, because it looks pretty freaking terrible too.
Mm-hmm.
But for mine, number 5, I'll say for the same with Randy. I actually did go a little more off character work, and specifically for my number 5, it is a power bomb. However, it is Undertaker's last ride.
The last ride power bomb.
Absolutely.
That extra lift.
It's the extra lift.
Yeah.
It does so much, and I'll even throw in the Cruiserweight Classic. I know how much you loved the Cruiserweight Classic.
I loved the Cruiserweight Classic.
Kota
actually.
Ibushi's last ride.
Yeah.
That thing was a thing of beauty.
Because he'll do
too.
a running sit down with it.
I
too.
know, and it's the last ride in general, but the Undertaker, of course, just
Dude, I'm always picturing Undertaker last riding Spike Dudley.
that is an American badass move.
Yeah.
And it is so good that when he came back, he added that to his arsenal because it is so beautiful.
Yeah, because he wasn't doing that before.
No.
So,
Fantastic.
my number 5, it's not anyone's specific. If it was, it would be Petey Williams, but it's the Canadian Destroyer. It made it into my top 5 based off of presentation. It was protected for its main use time with Petey Williams. What?
Gimpy ankle.
Yeah. But just it's the Canadian Destroyer is a perfect amalgamation of like looks very impactful but is relatively safe.
I want to add to that. The Canadian Destroyer is a good move. Well, you know what really stinks is Bad Bunny makes that move look more dangerous
Insane.
than anyone else because everyone else is using it as just like, just a run-of-the-mill
Yeah,
type
but
of
he
move.
finishes with it.
Yeah, and it's fantastic.
I like it.
All right, Clayton, hit us with your number 4 favorite finisher.
Number 4. Clothesline from Hell. Popularized by Bradshaw and thereafter JBL.
What a solid pick.
It
has fantastic move.
It falls into that glove compartment box of out of nowhere that the RKO exists in, that my number 1 exists in that it does not ever look like that doesn't hurt. Massively. Whether he's pulling you into it, whether you're coming off of a rope full speed, whether you're airborne, just see this bicep? It's going to decapitate you. Good luck.
Mm-hmm. Good luck.
Doesn't help that he didn't like anyone when he hit him with it, too, because he
God.
tried
It
to
was-
kill people.
Dude, convincing JBL to clothesline from hell to someone was like their ultimate receipt. Like if you did something wrong to JBL or someone he liked, that was your receipt moment. And it was live on TV. And I wonder how many people he actually can cut.
Several.
Because it's not just, if you really think about it, it's not just the clothesline part with his arm. There's also the mat you land on afterwards.
If he
The
decides to
follow-through.
land with his body weight on you on the follow through.
The
Yeah.
follow-through he had with that is
But
just...
dude, the way he would like,
If he
because he
just
wouldn't run
clotheslined.
straight. He would lean his body, like leave his feet, leave his body.
He would fall immediately into it, and the follow-through is like he's hitting you with this, and if you
Yeah.
just didn't follow through, it'd be fine, but he's going like this, so you're putting your head... He's trying to make sure
It's
you smack that melon on the ground, especially.
Solid number 4 pick.
My number 4 is the attitude adjustment. And hold on,
I didn't say anything.
change that name to the FU, and that's my number 4. You put the doctor fucking hitting that move. I've cussed a lot today. Apologies, fans. Also, to the guy who told me to use Virgil's finisher,
Stop saying
Stop
Virgil.
doing that.
What? You know what?
I'm done.
What was Virgil's finisher? Could you even tell me?
Does he know what his finisher is?
I don't think Virgil's ever finished anyone.
No, I don't think he's finished anybody. Oh my gosh. No,
Yeah.
it's John Cena's FU. That man, when he brought that move into play, I think against Rey Mysterio for the first time, everyone was like, whoa.
Well, and it was also a play on the F5 because he was feuding with Brock Lesnar.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a great move. It's finished several people. It's had him win multiple championships. Is the attitude adjustment good? Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
But it's not the Doctor of Thugonomics doing it, which that guy was over.
Yeah.
Not like this guy isn't, but that guy, that's what over looks like.
I love that for the FU, it is one of a small handful of finishers in the over-the-top SmackDown Here Comes the Pain that was 100% accurate.
Also, I like
Before John Cena really knew how to do a fireman's carry,
yeah.
he would just, I'm gonna throw you now.
Oh yeah, and then he would also fall with it sometimes.
It's about Taz. Taz saying it too. I don't know what it is about Taz.
F you.
And him against Big Show at WrestleMania, where he's like, Cena cheated, and then he screamed the FU. I'm like, oh, that gave me goosebumps. John Cena, go back to that guy.
John Cena.
John Cena.
My number 4 is specific. It is not the Walls of Jericho, but it is the Lion Tamer.
So Boston Crab.
No, the Lion Tamer is the one where his knee is in the middle of their back. A Boston Crab and a Walls of Jericho is the same thing. The Lion Tamer is where he steps over, but he doesn't step over and crouch. He keeps that knee in the middle of the back and
Yeah, high elevated Boston Crab, but continue.
sure. Either way, the Lion Tamer, incredible submission finisher. I think it's grossly unappreciated. It's in my top. I did enjoy the Walls of Jericho as well. I think that if you just very similar to the sharpshooter, you just look at it and it's like, that looks painful. And of course, it was also easy enough for me and all of my friends when we were kids to put each other in it. So I know it's painful.
I know it's painful. That's
so-
just the thing.
Not easy to
That's
get
just
out
a
of.
submission
Yeah.
you put people in.
Yeah, the walls. Yeah, you put people in the walls.
Absolutely.
But more specifically, I appreciated the Lion Tamer for the extra flare of knee in the middle of the back, higher elevation on the crank. So instead of bending more, they're kind of like curved, like a crescent moon.
Reverse scoliosis.
Yeah, exactly.
He kind of also. The Walls of Jericho is also something where I feel like in WWE he changed it up to the Lion Tamer a lot, and it
He would pull out
flip-flopped.
the Lion Tamer for like big pay-per-views. He wouldn't do it on like normal shows. Like he would switch from, he would start with the Lion Tamer and then cinch in a Walls of Jericho as like a lead up. But like his WCW days, like the Man of 1,007 holds or whatever, armbar, Lion Tamer, solid finisher.
I agree, absolutely.
WCW.
W.
My number 3, the Batista bomb.
Solid pick.
It, for the modern era, so post 2006, let's say.
Yeah.
Most devastating finisher I can think of. It just, Batista looked the part of bodybuilder wrestler, displayed the strength, and doesn't matter in what situation he caught you in, if he slammed you down, you're probably not getting back up.
Yeah, I would agree. It's the power of the pull down is what really sells it. And he's sitting with it. He was always a sit down power bomb. Crazy.
The fact, if he didn't get injured before or like around Armageddon time in 2005, that man's title reign would have lasted so much longer.
Oh, I know.
That Batista bomb
I
was a
need
thing of beauty.
Kevin Nash to take notes from Undertaker and Batista on how to do a power bomb, because Kevin Nash is just so lazy in the mid to late 90s. He would just like,
your arms.
he would just let his arms go before the guy would fall.
I mean, for a big guy, maybe, but like, it's
If
still,
he put any more torque in his biceps, his quads were going to pop.
That's
You
true.
know the rules of Kevin Nash.
I think I just heard one of them pop right there.
it's a quick one of those.
All right, bye, Kevin.
All right, my
right.
number 3.
It's Clayton's turn.
That was my number 3.
Oh, it's Eddie's turn. Shut up, Clayton.
Okay, my number 3 is an NXT finisher.
Okay.
And it is Aleister Black's Black Mass.
Dude,
Ooh.
I love. There was
Never thought a spin kick could look so perfectly executed in my whole life until I saw that man do it.
I had a coworker. His name was Christian, and he didn't like hate on pro wrestling, but he kind of didn't get it, you know. So I did the generic things of showing him a couple matches here and there, and then I was like, you know what, I think you would love. And I just told him about the character Aleister Black, because Christian had a bunch of tattoos and was like tatted head to toe, all that cool stuff. So I was like, I think you would like Aleister Black, and he really liked the Aleister Black character. And I was like, you should see his finisher. And I showed him the Black Mass, and like, I had to replay it like 4 more times because I don't remember who it was on, but I picked like a solid he connected on at Black Mass, and like we sat there and watched it on a replay 3 or 4 times.
There was one he hit on Lars Sullivan one time. That's a name I never thought I'd say on this podcast, to be honest. But there was one he hit on him where Lars Sullivan was like whooping everybody down, and Aleister Black came out and hit him with that. Just got into the ring and hit him with it and knocked him out.
The Black Mass is a savage.
Yeah.
Are we just gonna gloss past the execution of Johnny Gargano?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
They're still to this day the 2 meanest Black Masses I've ever seen.
One of my favorite matches. I don't know if I can say his name. I think he's fine. I think WWE's looking at him again. Velveteen Dream versus Aleister Black was
yeah. Those matches were. I don't think there was a rumor WWE was looking at him. I don't think they are. But I think they are anymore. I think you can say his name.
Yeah, I think it's fine. But it's fantastic move. It could have been higher, but
I think 3 is solid.
Three solid.
Yeah. Speaking of solid number 3s, maybe this is a cheat. Maybe it's not. I don't care. I did it anyway. It's a tie between Goldberg's spear and Rhino's gore. That level, because they're on the same tier of like spear. Below that is Roman. Below that is Edge. Like they tie in my book for number 1 spear.
Where's Lashley's spear?
Between Roman and Edge's, I guess.
Good.
Because it's not necessarily as good as Roman's, but any spear is better than Edge's.
Yeah,
in my
Edge's is a hug.
Yeah, but go back and find the spear that Goldberg did to Christian on that episode of Monday Night Raw when he's holding that blue chair. That was an insane spear. And then just go to YouTube and type in Rhino Gore compilation and watch him split people in half for
Spike Dudley getting gored.
Yeah, Spike Dudley getting gored out of his shoes. Like it's literal murder.
Absolutely grotesque. Anyone murdered Spike Dudley though, if we're gonna be honest.
That's true.
To elaborate further on my number 2 being the gore.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Gore. Rhino's version of the spear is the only version of the spear where he is intentionally driving his entire body weight into the recipient's midsections.
You don't think Goldberg's was like that?
Goldberg's spear, in actuality, is a football tackle.
That's true. He came from football.
So when Goldberg drives through on his spear, he more or less lands on all 4s or like belly down.
Yeah.
Rhino spears people so hard that he does a somersault after hitting them with the spear.
He's kind of still running, isn't he?
Yeah, like his momentum hasn't stopped.
Got it.
And Goldberg's spears on Brock Lesnar in the WrestleMania match, every single one looked like it probably tore apart whatever's remaining of his intestines.
Yeah.
But Rhino's gore on Spike Dudley, I thought Spike Dudley was dead.
Like ripped in half.
Literally dead. Either from the impact, from the whiplash, a crushed sternum, whatever, dead. I've never thought that about one of Goldberg's spear, which is why I have it higher than Goldberg's spear.
That's fair.
Okay. I kind of did a cheat like you. However, it's not the same move, but I completely forgot to include it. And kind of technically, both happened in the same matches. So I put Sami Zayn's Haluva kick.
Okay.
And this is outside of WWE. However, I put Kevin Owens' package pile driver. Kevin Steen's
Ooh,
package
Kevin
piledriver.
Steen's kill package.
Oh my god, it's such a good move. Generico's move that he had another move which I'm not going to put on there where he almost broke everybody's neck, where he just put him in a suplex position, just suplexed their head onto the turnbuckle.
Yeah.
And it's like one of the most grotesque things that you can watch. But Sami Zayn's haluva kick, for me watching NXT, best memories in my opinion.
Yeah.
That's like, he was the first guy I really got introduced with NXT. So that haluva kick is fantastic. Kevin Owens not being able to perform a pile driver in WWE, while it stinks, it's to protect people, I understand, but
it was like that pedigree pile driver, right, where he hooked the arms and then lifted
you
him
could
up.
even give it to Penta, because Penta has the fear factor, which is a fantastic name, especially for a finishing move. And it's a package pile driver, and that was in Lucha Underground, and it's just a fantastic move. But Kevin Owens innovated. Kevin Steen.
Clayton, have you seen Kevin Steen's package pile driver?
Not that I can immediately recall.
It's definitely worth checking out. But the haluva kick is a solid number 2.
Yeah,
I'm not mad at the haluva kick. Me, the fan, I just think Zack Ryder's drive-by kick.
Yeah, that's true. I could see Sami Zayn's haluva kick making it.
See, I was between
somewhere.
him and Alistair, like flipping them back and forth. So
my number 2 is probably a lot of people's number 1, not necessarily you guys, but a lot of people just in terms of recognizability, the Stone Cold Stunner. My number 2.
I agree. I think that's a good move.
It can come from out of nowhere. Its impact, it was protected. It looks
very protected.
It looks insane, like the way that people like Scott Hall would sell it.
Yeah.
The Rock would sell it. I thought Austin Theory, when he took it, the way he sold it in midair was insane. Even Vince, minus the very last one,
Shane did a really good job
when he had
it.
a mouthful of beer, just
Triple H did it to where like he couldn't move afterwards, and he was like straight paralyzed. So
who was it? Someone took it. Pat McAfee. Pat McAfee took it. He just stunned straight back and just back. Like it's such a cool, impactful move where the move itself clearly a match is over when that hits, but the opponent had the creative freedom to sell it. And as long as it looked good, it could be different. And I liked that. So Stone Cold Stunner, to me, solid number 2.
I'm definitely with that. I think that's great. I do think it's very protected.
Yes, it is.
It is, yeah.
But not more protected, in my opinion. And I fully embrace being wrong on this opinion, but it's mine, so you can't tell me my opinion is wrong.
You tell me my opinion is wrong daily.
Yeah, I think
because you need to be told that.
Okay. All right.
That's corrective behavior for you.
Sign the write-up later.
My number 1 is the original progenitor of Out of Nowhere.
Yeah.
This wrestler's overall technical wrestling style, everything built up to this, and just the psychological trauma of somebody going after a specific joint put fear into the wrestling masses, and that is Kurt Angle's ankle lock.
Yeah. Kurt Angle's ankle lock is a solid number 1 finisher, especially if you were to do a submission list, it's 100% number 1. There's even arguments to topping just a regular finisher. I could see that.
Everybody got. If you were
he made Hulk Hogan tap to that.
It is the only one that I have seen without fail have a finish over everybody if you are legitimately caught at the center of the ring. Yeah. None of this, I'm going to power through and crawl to the ropes. No. You might get a foot. You might get a foot that Ankle's dropping down and grapevining it, which just like a little pit bull just attacking your ankle.
It's nice to see a finisher have an evolution, a part 1, and then, I need to do part 2.
Didn't The Undertaker technically tap to that?
Undertaker has tapped to the ankle lock on an episode of SmackDown.
Yeah, Undertaker. More importantly, Hulk Hogan. I think it's
Well, Undertaker's the dead man tapped out to that.
Well, no, but I'm gonna say this, knowing that it's probably wrong. Is that the only person to ever make Hulk Hogan tap out?
That is in fact the only person to make Hulk Hogan tap
yeah,
out.
yeah.
It
Kurt
is.
Angle's ankle lock, like
Well, in WWE,
yes, I'm sure in
Lex Luger, I think, made him tap out.
Oh, I'm sure in WCW or TNA there might be something different, but I'm pretty sure in the WWE, Kurt Angle is the only person to make
Make
Hulk
him
Hogan
physically
tap out.
tap.
I'm gonna Google it
Lex
because
Luger torture
I'm Googling it
him.
right now.
Lex Luger torture act him. I think he verbally. Yeah, but it wasn't like an actual tap. I'll go to mine while we're waiting. My number one. What do you think my number one is?
RVD's Frog Splash.
Yeah, it's RVD's
It's
Frog
RVD's
Splash.
Frog Splash.
It's RVD's 5-star Frog Splash. It's always going to be RVD's 5-star Frog Splash. That move is just a. Oh my gosh. Why you would take a move that already is a thing of beauty and elevate it even more to. Yes, it's going to hurt the hell out of the person who you're landing on, but it's going to hurt you even more. Just the heights he'd take to make something look so much, just look make the match look so good is just a thing of beauty. And RVD's 5-star Frog Splash will always be a number one in my books. And just the wins he's gotten with that, and I don't think anyone's ever kicked out of a 5-star Frog Splash to my knowledge.
From RVD?
Yeah. I can't think of anyone who's kicked out of a 5-star Frog Splash.
You remember that stuff.
I know. I don't recall, at least in WWE. Oh. Wall. This is going on.
Yeah, so this
Here we
says
Fuck all of that.
yeah. in King, apparently at King of the Ring 2002, Kurt Angle faced Hogan and shockingly made it about. It's often seen as Hogan's first.
Yeah.
In WCW, Hogan tapped. Yes, up there, probably the Lex Luger thing you're talking about might be.
Yeah.
Either way, it's a very well protected.
So it's something that could actually hurt someone. Not like anything else couldn't hurt anybody, but that will break a bone.
100%.
Yeah.
And RVD's Frog Splash was well protected. I'm sure someone kicked out of it though. I can't think of it, but I would be
anybody.
I would be hard pressed to believe someone didn't kick out of that at some point in the later stages of his career because finishers just in general after 2004 aren't protected very well.
Yoshitatsu's head kick would have been up here too.
Yeah,
but
which by the way, my number one isn't this. None of us said Brock Lesnar's F5. Is that surprising?
It's not that really impactful, if I'm being honest.
I think it looks crazy.
It looks cool.
It looks. I think it looks. I honestly think because of the spinning aspect of it versus the overhead aspect of it, I would have said that Brock Lesnar's F5 is more impactful than the FU, in my opinion.
I think spinning it doesn't make it more powerful. I think an overhead
in terms
portion.
of looks.
In terms of looks, it looks way better. But
like if I see John Cena giving an FU to Rey Mysterio, or I see Brock Lesnar giving an F5 to Zach Gowen, I'm like, yo, Brock just killed that guy, you know?
Right.
So, but my number one, this was a product of its time.
Mm-hmm.
The perfect combination of impact, showmanship, character work, and deliverability. You can give it to anyone. Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music. Number one finisher.
Oh, we knew that was going to be it.
Yeah. 100% Shawn Michaels' Sweet Chin Music of its time from like 96 to 99 or 2000, whatever.
Not Hornswoggle's Sweet Shin Music?
No. No, not that. But like the opponent, the setup to it, the flying elbow, the kip up, go to the corner, tap the knee, stomp. We've all done it. We've all gone to a corner and stomped, pretending like we're going to kick a pillow in the face or something. Like, it's crazy. The setup, and then 1 or 2 hops across, Sweet Chin Music right to the jaw before the Young Bucks and an entire generation of wrestlers ruined it. You literally kicked him in the jaw. He's out.
And stop commenting Virgil.
Virgil didn't even do the Sweet Chin Music. Leave Virgil out of it. It's crazy that you would even say that.
Just tell them. They won't stop.
No, Clayton's just upset that I picked the Sweet Chin Music as my number one.
I'm not upset. But I do think there is a clear differentiation between the performative sweet chin music and just the out of nowhere sweet chin music.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Like the
So-
Shelton Benjamin. Yes.
The Shelton Benjamin
abso-freaking-lutely.
sweet chin music. He's dead. He's still lying in the ring right now.
That's honestly the only out of nowhere finish that I like with the sweet chin music.
He did a similar one to Ray that looked good too.
Actually, I take that back. The hour-long match after
I know the one you're
WrestleMania with
talking
Shawn
about.
Michaels, where Cena went to give him the attitude adjustment, Shawn landed on his feet, then sweet chin music him, and then just
Yeah.
fell into the pin. I've always liked the sweet chin music when Shawn presents it as though my gas tank's on E. This is what I got.
Yeah, last ditch
Boom.
effort done.
Just
So you
just
don't
a fall.
you don't like the presentation corner stomps. You don't like the finish sweet chin music.
I like that one. I certainly think it has its place in wrestling. It just, when he's tuning up the band to like the 7th, the 8th, the 9th stomp.
Oh yeah, I mean but here's what I would argue about that, and it's either way. In my opinion, more often than not, when you get to the 8th or the 9th stop, that's the opponent's fault, not Shawn's. That's their fault for maybe overselling, maybe not, depending on what led to that. But like, Shawn should only get 4 or 5 stomps before he's ready to go. The opponent should hear those stomps, get up for the sweet chin, call it a day. If he had to go that deep, it's because someone wasn't getting up and missing their cue, in my opinion.
I don't find fault with that opinion for now.
No, he had good moves. I liked it. I think
But-
that's his best move.
And honestly, you could flip my top 2 depending on the day. Shawn Michaels, Sweet Chin Music, and Stone Cold Stunner. Either way, but like when I truly think of the reason it was number 1 is because when I was asked top 5 finishes of all time, it was the first move that came up. Shawn Michaels, Sweet. Because anyone could do it.
Mine was RVD's 5-star frog splash.
As we
because
see
no
in the
one
year
else
of our
can do it.
Lord 2023,
Yeah.
anybody can do it.
Anyone could do it. Anyone could do a super kick, but Shawn Michaels gets a Sweet Chin Music. The whole presentation, the whole package of that.
And Dolph Ziggler.
You know what? I love when Dolph did it too. Dolph's Sweet Chin Music is not bad. There's something a little extra about the snap that Shawn had, but Dolph could sell ketchup popsicles to a woman in white gloves. So
What the hell was that?
Ketchup popsicles?
you've
What
never,
goes on
you guys
in
have
your
never seen,
head?
you guys have never seen Tommy Boy?
Not
Honestly,
enough to
no.
recall that.
Yeah, first off, that's a problem. You should watch.
I know what Tommy Boy is.
You're-
I just,
All right, well, we're not
honestly,
friends anymore.
A move that's not a finisher, that is one of the most grotesque things that also happened to Shawn Michaels was Shelton Benjamin's like catch kick, and then someone threw it, and then a spinning heel kick. Is that
Oh,
technically
Dragon
yeah,
whip.
that's not a
Dragon
finisher.
whip, but it's
Yeah.
still.
Just makes you feel that way.
Yeah,
Whatever that
When he hit
emotion
Shawn
was.
Michaels with it in that same match. Shawn Michaels like
Yeah,
walked
He
into
did.
it and just
Mhm.
I actually just recalled something that should have been on my honorable mentions.
Yeah.
Tajiri's buzzsaw kick.
Oh,
Name me
Yeah,
a
it's
better
beautiful.
execution move in wrestling.
of just a roundhouse kick.
to a kneeled,
Yeah.
grounded opponent. Just, you sat up? Take that with you right back
Dead.
down. And you may or may not be blind, too.
honestly, one more, and it's
Yeah.
a submission. Hear me out, because when he was an MMA guy, I guess,
Yeah.
CM Punk's Anaconda Vice, dude.
Well,
That
so
was-
here's the thing. Here's what we're gonna catch the most flack on. Here are the finishers that are in most people's top 5s that got left out.
Yeah, rock bottom.
Bret Hart's sharpshooter. Ric Flair's figure
Mhm.
4. I would say rock bottom, not the people's elbow. Well, maybe the people's elbow for presentation, but the Rock's finishers
Yeah.
were left out. Go
The
ahead,
figure
Clayton.
4 leg lock is the most garbage submission in the history of wrestling.
Have you ever been in
Yeah,
it?
I've been in a figure 4.
Have you
and
ever
is
been
not
in
a
it?
very
It
pleasant
sucks. It's a
move.
real submission.
It is
Not
very
real in
pleasant.
that you could just put anyone
Garbage.
on the street in it, but real in that it sucks.
I'm not saying that it
is
can't hurt.
absolutely awful.
Garbage. Hot garbage.
If we're going based
We know
off pain,
Clayton
it's an
likes to
ankle
say
lock or a
crazy crap.
Kimura is
Yeah.
one of the most painful. Brock Lesnar putting you in a Kimura,
But-
that is absolutely
I mean,
terrifying.
it's legitimately the
Yeah.
Kimura. You just have
Yeah.
to crank your arm another
Yeah.
5 degrees.
But no, none of us said F5, sharpshooter,
No.
figure 4.
Mm-mm.
You know what else we left out? That
What?
is like very individualistic,
Yeah.
like unique to that character. We left out the 619.
The Boyaka, I guess.
Crazy. But before we conclude, I do have Zach's top 5 as well.
And I know all of you
Oh,
Virgil
boy.
marks in the comments have been itching
Yeah.
to hear this one.
Yeah, Virgil didn't make it in his top 5.
Oh.
Yeah.
Disappointing.
Oh, I'm sorry,
Crazy.
Marks.
Yeah. Coming in at number 5, Zach's favorite finishers of all time, Hulk Hogan's leg drop.
That was obvious.
Yeah,
Like,
he
of
said he
course it was-
loves. He said something about the way that Hulk Hogan purposely put the gap of his knee on top of the neck of someone to where they didn't actually ever touch. Something
It was
about
like
that.
a chokehold with it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I
the
agree.
way that you don't actually ever get hit
Yeah.
by the leg drop.
It's like a
That was his
chokehold.
favorite.
Thoughts?
Do not ask me thoughts on
Okay.
Hulk Hogan's leg drop.
Number 4 was Great Khali's chop,
Yeah.
just right over the head, axe chop.
It's a very
Bam.
big head.
He
That's
said
just
that
a
was
big
number 4.
hand. That hand's like
Yeah.
3 of mine.
Like a cast iron
Yeah.
skillet.
Yeah,
Just
just boom. Number 3, Ultimate Warrior splash.
I mean, that'd kill someone nowadays.
Yeah, the way that you run back and forth 3 times and then kind of just land on him belly to belly. Not even from the top
Yo.
rope, but just the.
Ultimate Warrior shook the ropes so Batista and MJF could. I just want to point that out.
To be fair, Warrior did beat Hogan with this splash. But number 2, he put Rikishi's stink face, and in the parentheses just put yes, please. I don't know what that means, Zach.
Rikishi does have a kiss my ass club, Zach.
Yeah,
Does
so I don't know what yes, please means, but it's right next to stink face. And then number 1, I guess he didn't remember the name of it. He just put John Cena's weird one-time spinning back fist. That's his number 1 favorite
Was he
finisher
even
of
a
all
spinning
time.
back fist?
Yeah, it was. He did a
The punch of death.
he did a weird thing, and then he just punched one like that. And Zach said that's his number 1 finisher of all time.
I mean,
The 6th move of doom.
6 move of doom. Yeah,
Maybe that's what it's called.
that's it.
He did it, I think, in Saudi,
I think he did too.
or it was. I don't think it was in the United States. Or
I mean, he was
maybe
probably
it was.
electric about it. I don't blame him. It was
He
on
only did it.
Elias.
He did it once or twice.
Ezekiel's
But
brother.
is that who he did it on?
Yeah.
Zach should have put that since it's his number 1 favorite finisher.
I
Of all
don't know why
time.
you wouldn't.
And that is Too Heavy Wrestling's top 5 favorite finishers of all time. Let us know in the comments what you think of our lists, what your lists are. Were there any other major finishers that we left out? Please let us know below.
Just shut up about Virgil.
Don't say Virgil's, because I don't think he had a finisher. And if
I
he
don't
did,
think he had
you
a
couldn't
finisher
name it.
either.
You couldn't name it.
Why would you tell us to comment? Why would you tell
Probably-
us to talk about it if you don't know it?
I bet it's the $1 Million Dream. I bet he just also did
I think it is the $1 Million Dream. There, Marks. You have your answer.
There you go.
God.
Stupid Marks. Clayton, take us out.
The views and opinions expressed by Randall Rusin and Edward Cooney are individualistic in nature and are not reflective of any one person, place, thing, or group. We at Too Heavy appreciate all of our loyal listeners. Thank you.
And we will see you soon.